Welcome to the Goalden Girls Podcast, where we believe you can have it all. I'm your host, Lisa Michaud, and I'm spilling tangible tips, goal-getting strategies, and real-life stories to inspire you to tackle your biggest dreams. You're a woman who knows you're made for more. Get ready to leave the excuses and self-doubt behind by being vulnerable, sharing your truth, and having honest conversations so you can succeed on your terms. Together, we'll set goals you'll actually achieve by staying motivated, having fun, and building a community of women empowering women. It's time to tap into your best self, get confident, and truly have it all. Goalden Girl, let's dive in. Welcome to the Goalden Girls Podcast. I am your host, Lisa Michaud, and I'm so excited that you're here on our very first episode ever. If you are a driven, dreaming woman, you're in the right place. And in today's episode, I'm going to share a health scare that changed my life, and you'll learn how it can change yours too. Stay tuned and get ready because you're about to hear all about what you can expect from the Goalden Girls Podcast and how it's going to help you transform your life and turn your dreams into reality. First of all, I have to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know that there is a million other things demanding your time. Your to-do list is a mile long. Somebody just asked you for yet another snack, and now they're pulling on your pant legs. And in the time it takes me to finish the sentence, your social media has pinged another 4 times. I get it, okay? Life is noisy, this world is busy, and so are you. So I appreciate you listening. And also, that is why I wanted to create this podcast. Because I know that there is so much out there, and frankly, it can get overwhelming. I wanted to create a place where women like you can come to one place to get the best lessons, insights, strategies, and inspiration that I've learned in my life and through my work as a success coach, all customized just for you. With your busy life, I totally get it. You need learning and motivation that fits into what you've already got going on. So let's be friends. And like any great friend, bring me along. I'd love to join you on your morning commute or while you're on a run outside, doing the dishes, or maybe even in the shower. Or am I the only one that listens to podcasts in the shower? Tell me I'm not. Heck, you can even bring me along if you're packing boxes and moving. Yep, we are going to be that good of friends that we even help each other move. It's rare. Goalden Girls Podcast is for the woman who knows she's made for more. You have already been successful in your life, whatever your definition is. And yet there's still something in your heart, on your mind, in your soul that you want to experience in your life, something you want to create, something that you want to achieve. You've got a goal, a dream, and you're looking for the support, encouragement, clarity, tools, and strategies to make that happen. And let me tell you, girl, you are in the right place. So who am I, and why should you even listen to what I have to say? Well, my name's Lisa, and I'm a success coach and speaker. By the time I was 30, I created a multi-million-dollar net worth, and I thrived in the corporate world for over 10 years. Now I'm blessed to be leading a coaching company specializing in helping women like you live a meaningful and a fun life. What's that? Fun and success? Well, you're going to learn pretty quickly that that's the only way that I roll. And I don't just talk about it, I live it. I've traveled to over 30 countries, I run 7 half marathons, built an incredible network, and with my husband, we have a growing real estate empire. Right now, my daughter Sonoma is 19 months old, and I'm going to be honest, I am a work-at-home mom, so you're probably going to hear her make a cameo or two on this podcast. You might hear her squealing with delight, or hearing her rendition of The Wheels on the Bus, or maybe you'll just hear her sweet voice as she says, "Mama." My mission here is to inspire, to lead, and motivate you to turn your big dreams into reality. And over the years, I've been so grateful to get to work with entrepreneurs, executives, side hustlers, stay-at-home parents, and leaders who are committed to living both fun and meaningful lives while chasing their goals. Now, I could tell you about the usual accolades, degrees, awards, certifications, but let's just skip all of that and get to the real talk. Let's talk about why I'm here, because it is so far removed from the usual markers of success, and that's what makes me and this podcast unique. This is why you should pay attention. A few years ago, I was living a completely different life. I lived in Fort McMurray, Alberta, which is a small remote community in the heart of Canada's oil sands. My husband Troy and I had just gotten married, and both of us had really successful, thriving six-figure careers. My whole life, I had been a good girl, and maybe you can relate to this. I had checked all of the right boxes. I went to school, I got a degree, I got a job with benefits, I got a promotion, I bought a house, I got married, I got another promotion. Check, check, check. I checked all of the boxes. We owned a beautiful home, and we'd even started building our real estate portfolio. At the time, we were traveling around the world, had great friends, and I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that my life was pretty darn good. Until I had my health scare, and I faced the reality that I might only have a year or two left to live. I'd gone to the doctor, and they'd found what they thought was a lump on my lungs. At 27 years old, as someone who had never smoked before, it didn't look good. Lung cancer is what it might be. I went home that night, and I remember talking to my husband, Troy. We laid in bed that night, and I asked him, what are we going to do if I only have a year or two left to live? I was scared, I was anxious, and I had no idea what we were going to do. Now, you should know my husband is super pragmatic, so what he said to me was, well, Lisa, you're the one with the timeline. What do you want to do? And the first thing that came into my mind was move to Vancouver. Now, I am super lucky. It was just a scare. It turns out that what they thought was a lump on my lungs is actually a little irregularity in my heart, which sounds bad, but I promise it's not. It's now been almost 5 years, and I'm so lucky to say that I'm healthy. It was just a scare. Obviously, I'm lucky that it was a scare, but I am also lucky that I had the scare. And yes, you heard that right. I am lucky I had the scare. I'm lucky because it made me realize that I had all these things in my heart, in my mind that I wanted to do, that I was putting off and just not doing. I had all this potential within me that I just wasn't exploring. Let me tell you, as soon as I faced and thought about what my life might look like if I only had a year or two left, the floodgates opened and all of my dreams came in. I realized there were so many things that I wanted to do, and I was just sitting here playing safe in my comfortable life. I'd wanted to live in Vancouver since I was a little girl visiting Vancouver. I wanted to go to Thailand, and I even bought the guidebook, and yet it sat collecting dust on my shelf for over 8 years. I knew that at some point I wanted to speak on stages and even start a business one day. That was the key. One day. Have you ever said that? Let me tell you, that phrase could have been the nail in my coffin. Those dreams that I had, Vancouver, Thailand, having a business, they were about to go straight to the grave with me. And maybe if you're listening, you can relate. I was waiting for someday. I was waiting for the right time, another time. I was waiting for my kids to grow up. I didn't even have kids, but I knew that I couldn't do anything till after they'd grown up. I was waiting till I had $1 million in the bank, and after I had that, I just moved the milestone to $2 million. I was waiting till I had enough experience. And this is seriously what woke me the heck up. When I was faced with that reality that I might only have a year or two left to live, to make my life matter and to live it for me, I stopped looking at why I couldn't do it. I stopped thinking about why it now wasn't the right time, and I started figuring out how. I wanted to know, how could I do what I wanted right now? I started asking, how is it possible? Now, if you take nothing away, just shifting and asking this one question can fundamentally change your day, your year, and your life. When you start asking, how is it possible? You find a way. You literally trick your brain into thinking, well, it must be possible because I'm trying to figure out how, so let's go do it. Within the next few months, Troy and I both quit our jobs. We honeymooned in Thailand. Troy got a new job, thank goodness for that. We sold our houses and we sold a whole lot of stuff and moved from our 3,000 square foot house with a triple car garage into a 450 square foot condo in downtown Vancouver. In case you're wondering, yes, our parents thought we were crazy. And you know what? It didn't stop there. After we moved, I started looking for another job because that's just what you do, right? And it hit me. I was doing it again. I didn't want another job. I wanted to start a business. I always had. In fact, I even went to business school and got my degree, but I never followed through. And so here I was, waiting again, waiting for a better time to start a business, waiting to be ready, waiting to find the perfect business idea. And that's when I decided to say screw it and start this community. I wanted to become a coach and help other women like me. Look, I don't want you to have a health scare or have somebody close to you die, or have some other life-shaking experience for you to wake up. I want you to hear me loud and clear right here, right now, if there was only today. And that's why I'm here, and that's why this podcast exists. Even though I was successful, I'd ticked all the boxes, degree, job with benefits, house, marriage, promotion, save money. On the surface, it looked like I was doing great. And I can honestly say I was happy. There were still a lot of things in my heart that I was making excuses for, and a lot of things I was not listening to. I hit a peak in my life, and I call this the wrong peak. I hit the wrong peak, and maybe you can relate to that. I hit this level of success, but it didn't include all the things I desired. And I don't want the same for you. That's why this podcast is here. My intention is to give you tools and insights and motivation so you can take charge of your life today and turn those big dreams or small dreams into reality. I know that you have goals and dreams. Maybe you want to write a book or finally finish your scrapbook. Whatever it is, it's time. It's time for you to start asking how is it possible and really live your potential. Maybe you dream of starting a charity so you can help other women that are going through tough times. Maybe you want to go back to school or get your master's or PhD or learn how to cook a mean pasta. Maybe you want to take a bartending class or go on a wine tour. Let's be honest, I think we all want to go on a wine tour, or maybe that's just me. Maybe you want to ride a motorcycle and take a trip across the country, just you and the open road. Maybe you want to be a part of a flash mob. I'm going to be honest, that's still one of my goals. Maybe you want to wake up near the ocean every day or meet Oprah. I know that there's something in your heart. There are things that you want with your life. There's something that if I told you right now, if I told you you only have 1 or 2 years left to go, there are things that you would drop everything to make happen. I also know that it's not that easy. There are a million excuses and reasons and fears and expectations, both your own and society's, that keep you stuck and keep you exactly where you are instead of moving forward. And I know that because I went through those. Like the same things that are stopping you right now, those things stopped me too. So I know what you're going through. Since having that scare, I'm not gonna lie, I became a little obsessed. I became obsessed with figuring out what is it that holds us back? What is it that stops us from creating the changes that we want, from achieving our goals and chasing our dreams and learning how to overcome those things? I know it's hard and I know what it's like. You don't know how to start the business or how you'll ever publish a book or what you do if you ever had to attend a book signing because you're not the best with crowds and you don't have that fancy signature that you imagine every author just has to have. Maybe you're afraid to go back to school because it feels like you don't have enough time, or you're too old to be learning. Or are you? You want to run for political office in your community, but you think you're too young. Who would ever vote for you? Or even worse, what if you lost and people watched you fail? Everyone watched you fail. You love to start a business, but you know that your in-laws and snippy cousin Tracy is going to roll her eyes, and you couldn't possibly survive the passive-aggressive comments at family dinner. You're waiting until you have enough money to travel to your dream city, or you're waiting until you have enough experience to apply for your dream job. Girl, I get it. I've felt all of those things, and I've helped countless women through this. Now it's your turn. Through the Goalden Girls Podcast, you can look forward to strategies, tools, the how and the what of goal getting. But I gotta tell you, most importantly, and what I'm super passionate about is sharing mindset tips and insights, because sometimes we are our own worst enemies. It is time to get clear on where you're really going and be inspired and motivated to get there. I know that you are infinitely powerful, and I'm going to share one of my favorite quotes. You've probably heard it before. It's not revolutionary, but it's darn good. It is Henry Ford's quote. Whether you believe you can or believe you can't, you're right. It is time for you to believe that you can do everything you want. It is time for you to harness the power of your mind and live your life for today. I believe that anything is possible for you, and Goalden Girls Podcast is going to help you make anything possible. First, we're going to make sure that you realize the infinite possibilities that exist for you. Then you'll decide on which ones most light your heart and your mind on fire. Then you're going to set intentions and goals to help you get there. Every step along the way will make sure you get out of your own way so you can stay motivated, encouraged, and inspired all along the journey. Here's what you can expect. I'm going to share real life examples of success and strategies that work. I'm bringing in incredible and inspiring guests with stories that will help motivate you and expertise on topics like mindset and health and finance and so much more. But I want to be clear on something, and this is really important. This isn't just a highlight reel. I'm sharing the real life ups and downs and the lessons that I've learned so you can move forward in your life. You can expect honest conversations and vulnerability and the truth, like no BS here. I will tell you what's hard and what I struggle with and how I've overcome things. You should know this, that I have figured out a lot of things, but I do not have it all figured out yet. I still struggle with finding the perfect balance every single day. I have hard days where I find myself crying on my daughter's floor, not sure how to get up. Some days, I still want to and try to make over my husband. I still get self-conscious when I'm the most out-of-shape person at my Legree West class or my favorite boot camp. But here's the thing. These things are all hard, but I show up and I keep going. I show up and I keep going during my workout classes. I keep going to be the best mom and the best wife I can be, and to be the best entrepreneur that I can be so I can lead this community and this business that I have in my heart. I'm still working on my next level of big dreams and becoming the best version of myself, but I'm in the trenches with you doing the work, and that's why you should listen, because I have come a long way and there are a lot of things that I've learned that I know can help you, but I couldn't possibly help you if I didn't also know what that was like to struggle. I couldn't help you if I didn't know what it was like to have some days where it feels like I have no time or fail all the way to success, which I fail a lot, by the way, you should know. There are things that I've learned and things I'm still learning, but I will be honest with you because, let's be honest, that's what we both deserve. I feel like we're in this place right now in society where whenever somebody asks you, how are you? We just automatically say, I'm good or I'm busy. And I think we do this for one of two reasons. We do this because it's the easy answer and we don't have to actually open up to what's really going on. I know sometimes, maybe you can relate to this, when someone says, how are you? I say I'm good instead of really saying how awesome my life is and how great things are, because I don't want to make other people feel less than or make them feel self-conscious or make them think I'm bragging. Maybe you do that too. Maybe you downplay your success and downplay what's awesome in your life. The other reason I think sometimes we just say I'm good or I'm busy is because we don't always feel comfortable to share when things are hard. We don't know who we can talk to about it. We don't know how to open up that conversation. And I know that that's not good either, because it's leading to a lot of us being lonely in success and lonely in failure, thinking we're the only ones. We live in this world where people are obsessed with likes and follows and the perfect filters, and I'm just so over it. I want to uncover the real things. That's what this podcast is about having real conversations with honest and really fantastic women and men with you, so we can talk about the hard things. We can talk about the struggles. We can talk about the failure and the challenge and all of our doubts and fears and all those things. And most importantly, live a life that's incredible and work towards incredible, exceptional things in our lives despite those challenges that come up. We can celebrate our achievements and celebrate what's awesome in your life without making other people feel small or without feeling like you're bragging. This is the place for all of it. Trust me when I say we're going to acknowledge that there are hard times. I get that. We'll talk about the fact that things aren't always perfect, and I've already shared some of my stories. I want you to know that it's normal to struggle. It's normal to be afraid. It's normal to fail. But I'm going to push you to not stay there. And just because something is normal or common doesn't mean it's okay, and doesn't mean you necessarily want it. Just because you're in a place where it might be hard, it's not okay to stay stuck or unhappy. There isn't only one way. This community, it's for women who are ready to live exceptional lives and rise above and rise to the challenge and beyond. If you believe in being imperfect, both you and me, and still showing up and moving forward, you're in the right place. If you are all about having fun, because I believe every day should be, and that you shouldn't just save the joy for celebrations only for special occasions. So if you love dance parties and you are open to some bad jokes, mostly mine, and shaking it while you crush your goals, you're in the right place. This is for you if you love honesty and authenticity, because I'm going to share the good and the bad, and I speak from my heart, and share openly about what I believe so I can serve you and help you achieve the goals and dreams that you have. This is for you if you believe that you can have it all and you want it. Now, I gotta say this, disclaimer here, this does not mean that we do it all. You do not do it all, you cannot do it all. And I will talk more about this in upcoming episodes. But if you want to travel and have a thriving business and believe you can do both, you're in the right place. If you want a family and a growing career, this is for you. If you can believe that you can have an incredible and sexy marriage and still be an awesome mom, well, you are my people and you are right at home right here. Now, I have to say this, the most important thing to me is you. You getting the results, you getting the transformation, and you achieving what you want. So most of all, I'm going to be listening to you. We are on this journey together. If you've got questions, I'm going to be answering them throughout these episodes. If you have experts you want to hear from or specific challenges you need help with, that's what I'm going to be creating. This podcast is for you. So thank you so much for listening to episode 0 of the Goalden Girls Podcast. I would love to hear from you. I'm a brand new podcast host, and so I know that without you, this does not exist. Please know from the bottom of my heart, thank you for listening, and I so appreciate you. I would love for you to take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and make sure you leave a review. If you loved this episode, leave a review and share it with a friend, a coworker, a family member, anyone else you adore that needs to hear this. Now, stay tuned because in the next couple episodes, I'm answering your biggest goal questions. How do you set goals? How do you get clarity if you have lots of dreams and no idea where to start? How many goals should you set and what categories? And honestly, can someone just explain what the difference between a long-term and a short-term goal is? Don't worry, I'm going to answer all those questions for you. Now, you don't want to miss any future episodes, and I got to say, if you enjoyed this, hop right on over to episode number 1, Why Everyone Needs a Goal, Even You. Now, truly, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what resonated for you, what topics you want to see in the future, and any questions that you have. You can find me on social media. The show notes will have the links to all my profiles or on my website. You can check out www.lisamishow.com for more tips and resources or to drop me a message. That's it. That's why you're here. That's where we're going. Thank you so much for listening. Goalden Girl, you're meant for more. Go get it. Let's tap into your best self and truly have it all. Thank you so much for listening. If something spoke to you, send me a message by sharing this episode and tagging me on social media. If you know someone who would love to hear this episode, please share it with them too. Because I love surprises, make sure you subscribe to the Goalden Girls Podcast today. It's the only way to find out about bonus surprise episodes and make sure you don't miss a single beat on your golden journey. Thanks again for listening, and I will talk to you in the next episode of the Goalden Girls Podcast.